Alright, it looks like the Kingdom of Mizu has created an alliance with the Federation of Thayrzil up to their north. And it looks like this little micronation known as Sundagavin has made an alliance with their neighbors in Arios right over here, which probably is not good for Mizu. But although it takes one army and it's over, it looks like the Kingdom of Arthura has formed an alliance with the northern neighbors of Thuringia. And this small nation has the confidence to declare war on the eastern continent known as the Kingdom of the Land of Holy. We'll just call it the Land of Holy for short. And it looks like the King's Land, you might remember the King's Land from the former episode, declaring war on Thuringia. Looks like Sundagavin has pretty decent efforts into the Land of the Holy. The Land of Holy just declared war on Limburgia to the west. I gotta go through Thayrzil for that. And looks like Thuringia is making decent efforts into the King's Land. Looks like Westfield has just declared war on the King's Land. This can't be good for the King's Land. A war on both the southern and the western borders. The King's Land getting bigger and bigger chunks taken out of it by both of its neighbors. It looks like Westfield has now declared war against Thuringia, attacking on both sides as the King's Land is getting encompassed slowly on all sides as well. It looks like Arthura is making efforts in the south of Westfield. Stalemate in the east by the Land of Holy and Limburgia, as they're not really making any efforts in there. Oh, we did miss it. The small nation, whatever it was once called, has been conquered and destroyed by the Land of Holy. That's not really a surprise that we're a single island, and not even a big one at that. Looks like Arthura and Thuringia have ceased their alliance. Westfield is struggling over here in the west, as Arthura and Arios have just made an alliance between themselves. Arios is not coming to help in this pre-existing war, though. Oh! We're getting some steps from the Holy Land in Limburgia over here. Westfield is getting bigger and bigger chunks taken out of it by the massive Thuringia, who is slowly but surely wiping away the King's Land. But Westfield is pretty much throwing Arthura out in the south. Looks like the Land of Holy is now at war with both Limburgia and Arios, trying to drive into the mainland from their island of the east. The Land of Holy is now hitting into Arthura, which means they gotta focus less on the Westfield and more in their own borders. The King's Land is getting wiped away slowly. Their name is barely legible on the map now. We're about to see them go under a collapse, I believe. And the King's Land was destroyed by Thuringia. Westfield is really struggling. They're probably the next on the list to collapse. Limburgia in the east has gained a small foothold in the Land of Holy, although short-lived. Westfield isn't looking too good. Unfortunately, Westfield was just destroyed. Westfield wasn't gone too long as they immediately have been re-established right over here, much to the dismay of their captors. And it looks like there's been a rebellion from Thuringia, known as Zentrellus, fighting against their larger father. And another chunk was taken out, Arthura, called Zentinium. Arthura has formed an alliance with Arios. Westfield is growing by the second. The descendant of Westfield is growing rapidly, taking more and more. As yet another rebellion happened, this time in Thuringia in the north, known as Bischofsheim. It looks like the King's Land was officially destroyed by Thuringia. I have no idea where the King's Land could be on this map. I see they were on this island. Thuringia is going at war against two of its people. It looks like yet another rebellion happened. An empire of Raeticum in Arthura as it tries to fight all Zentinium and Raeticum. And it looks like the King's Land is once again started up, albeit I can't tell you where it was. Oh, right here in the southern tip of Bischofsheim. Bischofsheim, short-lived soon, I believe. Umberlania, founded in southern Thuringia, as well as Karnsberg. Bischofsheim is destroyed though, and the King's Land is next, I believe. The third go-around of the King's Land is actually making a bit of a foothold in the north, as Umberlania is also striving. Illyrios, next to Umberlania, expanding, making an alliance between Karnsberg and Illyrios. Arthura is taking some heavy hit. In the north is Phraselandia, rebelling against Thuringia as the King's Land is expanding down. Oh, and it looks like Westfield and Zanatinium are now at war. Not looking good for Arthura in Queensbury in the middle of Thuringia. Thuringia is absorbed in corruption, I bet, as we're about to witness Arthura collapse at the hands of Radicom. The east is mostly undisturbed like Mizu. Mizu is sitting in peace with Theirzil, I guess. Then Bergia and the Holy Land, the Land of Holy, are still struggling with one another. Zantinium is making great efforts into Westfield, which may be on its second collapse soon. And Westfield has collapsed a second time. Might be back for a third. And Centralis is also close to being smothered by Thuringia, as Karnsberg is the next target of Zantinium. Zantinium is now collapsed Centralis, leaving Umberlandia and leaving Thuringia in war again. Many nations. Thuringia is not a good place to be in. Zantinium has just declared war on Umberlandia. Zantinium is making huge efforts. They are really strong. They could be a big contender against Thuringia at the moment. Still peace in the east other than Land of Holy, Limburgia, and Ario. And it looks like Frieslandia is on the brink of collapse. War between Radicum and Arios, fighting from the south and the east. Peace has finally been found between Umberlandia, Xanatum, Umberlandia. Umberlandia has become a puppet state of Zantinium. It looks like Queensbury is the next target of Thuringia, getting invaded and slowly wiped off the map. Thuringia taking the land back as Radon fallen and Queensbury is destroyed. It looks like the Land of Holy is taking big bites out of Arios and Limburgia, and Umberlandia declares war on Illyrius, and Zantinium, helping the puppet state, finally getting that split between its lands taken care of. Illyrius is taking some big hits from Thuringia and Umberlandia, as well as Zantinium. Arios is in some sort of stalemate with Radicum, but Limburgia is taking finally some big hits as it's succumbing to the non-stop onslaught of the Land of Holy. Everyone should take a picture out of Arcadios and Mythicus book. They're just kind of coexisting together. They're not allied by any means, but look at them. They're still at peace. And that peace is short-lived. I spoke too soon and I jinxed it. Sorry, Arcadios, but it is now at war with the Land of Holy. Xanatum has just declared war on Arios. Arcadios is going north and to the west of the Land of Holy. Mizu is living up to his inspiration of Japan by being isolationist other than its alliance with Theirzil. And Xanatum has declared war on the King's Land. It looks like Arios is on the brink of collapse as it makes peace with Xanatum. Look, oh, it didn't become... Xanatum has taken another puppet state. Xanatum has taken another puppet state, that being Arios and the small chunk that's left of it. It looks like Radicum has just declared war on Mizu and Theirzil, finally breaking that silence between them. But that's going to be for the next episode.